Let's be honest, there are some topics we all find difficult to talk about, even with those we trust most. For many, issues like blood circulation or intimate health can feel a little too private, maybe even a little embarrassing. And yet, these very concerns are among the most important to address, especially as we grow older and our bodies change in ways we might not have expected. So let's pause together and ask, what if starting an honest conversation with your doctor about circulation and intimate health could help you enjoy more comfort, more confidence, and more freedom in your daily life? Today, we're going to explore why this conversation matters, how to prepare for it, and what it can unlock for your well-being, no matter your age or background. Discover how learning to talk openly with your doctor about circulation and intimate health helps adults over 60 achieve more comfort, confidence, and quality of life. Picture this. You're sitting in your doctor's office for your annual checkup. The nurse has already measured your blood pressure, asked about your medications, maybe even taken a blood sample. The doctor comes in, reviews your records, and asks if you have any questions or concerns. In that moment, it can feel easier to just smile and say, "Everything's fine," than to bring up something personal. Maybe you worry you'll sound silly. Maybe you don't have the right words. Or maybe, deep down, you're afraid of what the answer might be. But let's flip that picture for a moment. What if instead of holding back, you spoke up honestly, simply, and without shame? What if you said, "Lately, I've noticed my legs are getting tired more easily, or my feet feel colder, or I've been having some changes in intimacy that I'm not sure about." Imagine the relief that comes from sharing a burden that's been weighing on your mind. Imagine discovering you're not alone, and that help, real practical help, might be just one question away. The truth is, so many people over 60 experience changes in circulation and intimate health, but very few talk about it. Maybe it's because these topics were rarely discussed in your generation, or because you're used to being the strong one, taking care of others, and putting your own needs last. But times are changing. Today's doctors are more trained than ever to address these sensitive issues, and more understanding about the ways aging affects both body and spirit. They want to help, but they can't unless you let them in. Let's look at why this conversation is so important. Circulation affects everything, from the warmth in your hands and feet, to your energy for daily walks, to how quickly wounds heal, to the comfort you feel during your most private moments. When blood doesn't flow well, it's not just your legs that suffer. It can also lead to changes in sexual health, bladder function, and even your mood and memory. The good news? Many of these issues can be improved, managed, or even reversed with the right information and support. But it all starts with a simple, honest conversation. Maybe you're thinking, "That sounds good, but I wouldn't even know how to begin." If so, you're not alone. Many people feel awkward or uncertain about how to talk to their doctor about personal issues. You might worry that you'll be judged or that your concerns will be brushed off. But remember, your doctor is there to help you, not just to treat disease, but to help you live well at every stage of life. Imagine if we could break down the barriers that keep us silent. What if you could walk into your next appointment feeling prepared and confident, ready to ask questions and share your story? What if you knew which words to use, what details to mention, and what questions to expect in return? Imagine how empowering it would be to take charge of your own health, to become a partner in your care rather than a passive patient. In this video, we'll walk through everything you need to know to make that happen. You'll hear real-life stories from people who found their voice and saw their health and their relationships transform as a result. We'll offer practical tips for preparing for your appointment, including what signs and symptoms to look for, what words to use if you're feeling shy, and how to respond if your doctor seems rushed or unsure. We'll also cover the emotional side of the conversation. It's normal to feel nervous or vulnerable when talking about intimate health, but those feelings are not a sign of weakness. They're a sign that you care deeply about your well-being. By facing them, you're showing courage and self-respect. Remember, every person's journey is unique. What matters most is your willingness to be honest and your openness to learn. Think about the possibilities. By opening up about circulation and intimate health, you may discover new treatments, exercises, or lifestyle changes that restore your comfort, energy, and confidence. You might catch warning signs of a health problem early, or find a solution that brings you and your partner closer together. You might even inspire friends or family to take their own health seriously, creating a ripple effect of courage and healing in your community. Let's not let embarrassment or fear keep us from living the fullest life possible. Let's embrace the power of honest, informed conversation with our doctors and reclaim the comfort, confidence, and freedom that belong to us at every age. Stay with me, because what comes next will give you the tools, the language, and the mindset to make your next doctor's visit the first step on a new journey, one where your health, your voice, and your joy matter more than ever. But let's get real for a moment, because this is where so many people quietly stumble. If you skip the conversation about circulation and intimate health with your doctor, you may face a range of consequences, some subtle, some life-changing. And too often, those who say nothing end up carrying burdens they could have set down long ago, if only they'd known how to ask for help. If you hold back, what starts as a minor annoyance, tingling feet, cold toes, flagging energy, or a change in intimacy might seem too trivial to mention at first. Maybe you tell yourself it's just aging, or maybe you think it will pass. Days become weeks, weeks become months, and those little symptoms start to add up. What was once an occasional stiffness or a fleeting discomfort might slowly become a daily companion. Legs that tire on short walks, hands that don't warm up, or the quiet ache of a body that doesn't respond the way it used to. For many, the most private consequence is the hardest to voice. Maybe you find yourself withdrawing from your partner, making excuses to avoid closeness because you're unsure, uncomfortable, or just embarrassed. Maybe your confidence fades in little ways, a missed invitation, an activity you once loved that now feels daunting. The truth is, intimacy is not just about the body. It's about connection, joy, and the sense of being truly alive. If you don't address these issues with someone who can help, you risk letting them quietly erode your well-being and your relationships. And then there's the risk to your health as a whole. Poor circulation can lead to more than just cold feet. It can slow healing, increase your risk of falls, contribute to memory problems, and even raise your chance of serious conditions like heart disease or diabetes. Changes in intimate health can be early warning signs of bigger problems, nerve issues, hormonal shifts, or even hidden illnesses. By staying silent, you might miss the chance to catch something early when it's most treatable. If you skip this conversation, you may also rob yourself of simple solutions. Sometimes the fix is as straightforward as adjusting a medication, starting a new exercise, or adding a supplement. But unless your doctor knows what's happening, they can't tailor their advice to your needs. You're left guessing in the dark, hoping things will get better on their own, while quietly worrying that maybe they won't. It's natural to feel shy, uncertain, or even a little ashamed. But let's pause and remember, doctors have heard it all before. Every day, they talk to people about every part of the body, every kind of symptom, every worry under the sun. What seems personal or unique to you is, for them, an important piece of your health puzzle. They're not judging, they're there to help. If you let embarrassment win, you let go of the chance to get back to your best self. Think too about the example you set. When you speak up, you show your partner, your children, even your friends that it's okay to talk about health. You create a ripple effect, making it easier for others to get help, to ask questions, to live with less fear and more hope. On the flip side, staying silent keeps the old cycle of secrecy and suffering alive, passing it quietly to the next generation. Let's also not overlook the emotional cost of staying quiet. Bottling up your worries can lead to anxiety, sleepless nights, or even depression. You might start to see yourself as broken or old, when in fact, so much of what you're facing is normal, treatable, and often reversible. You deserve to feel heard. You deserve to feel whole. And remember, the longer you wait, the harder the conversation becomes. Small problems can become big ones. Worries can become habits. Silence can settle in until it feels impossible to break. But it's never too late to take the first step to reclaim your comfort, your energy, your relationships, and your joy. So, if you skip the conversation about circulation and intimate health with your doctor, you may face a world that shrinks a little more each year. A world where discomfort, worry, and loneliness take up more space than they should. But if you choose to speak up, you open the door to hope, to healing, and to a brighter, more connected tomorrow. Stay with me, because next we'll talk about practical ways to overcome these barriers, prepare for your appointment, and transform a difficult topic into the best gift you could give yourself and those you love. Your voice matters. Your health matters. And this conversation could be the beginning of your best chapter yet. Now, as we continue this journey, let's lean into another key piece of the puzzle, one that can make your conversation with your doctor not only easier, but far more effective. If the first step is having the courage to bring up circulation and intimate health, the second factor is preparing yourself and embracing a partnership approach. This combination, honest communication plus thoughtful preparation, can change everything. Think of it like preparing for an important trip. You wouldn't just jump in the car and drive off without knowing your destination, right? In the same way, a little planning before your appointment can help you feel more confident and make sure you don't forget what matters most. And when you show up as a partner in your own care, not just a patient, you invite your doctor to walk the path alongside you, rather than just telling you what to do. Let's get practical for a moment. Start by taking a few minutes to jot down your symptoms, no matter how small. Maybe you've noticed cold hands or feet, tingling at night, a decrease in energy, or subtle changes in intimacy. Are there patterns? Do certain activities make things better or worse? How long has this been going on? Have you started any new medications or changed your daily routine? The more details you can share, the easier it is for your doctor to see the bigger picture. Next, write out your questions. It might feel strange at first, but even just having a list in your pocket can help calm your nerves and keep the conversation on track. Some questions you could ask: could my symptoms be related to circulation? Are there simple tests we can do? What lifestyle changes might help? Could any of my medications be affecting intimacy or blood flow? Remember, there are no silly questions when it comes to your health. And here's a little known fact. Doctors actually appreciate when patients come prepared. It makes their job easier and shows you're serious about your well-being. Your preparation transforms the visit from a rushed exchange into a real dialogue where you both listen, learn, and make decisions together. This sense of partnership is one of the strongest predictors of good health outcomes, especially as we age. Now, let's talk about what happens when you take this proactive approach. First, you're more likely to get accurate answers and useful recommendations because your doctor has the whole story, not just a snapshot. Second, you help avoid misdiagnosis or unnecessary worry, since you're sharing patterns and context that a quick exam could easily miss. Third, you may discover new options, treatments, exercises, or referrals to specialists that you wouldn't have found without speaking up and being organized. Preparation isn't just about symptoms either. Consider bringing along your partner or a trusted friend to the appointment. Sometimes they can add details you might forget, or simply offer support if you feel nervous. A companion can also help you remember what the doctor says, so nothing important slips through the cracks once you get home. And another powerful benefit of this partnership mindset is that it builds trust over time. When you show up as an active participant, you invite your doctor to see you as more than a chart or a case number. You become a person with goals, preferences, and wisdom of your own. This relationship, grounded in mutual respect, can make it easier to discuss even the most sensitive topics because you know you're being heard. If you're worried about feeling rushed, don't be afraid to say, "This is important to me. Can we set aside a few minutes to talk about circulation and intimacy?" Most doctors will respond with understanding. If your provider seems uncomfortable or dismissive, remember, you have the right to seek a second opinion or ask for another doctor who's a better fit for your needs. Your comfort and health always come first. Let's not overlook technology either. Many clinics now offer secure messaging with your doctor. If you're shy in person, you might start the conversation with a message before your visit, or follow up with questions afterwards. Some people find it easier to write things down first, then discuss them at the appointment. There's no one right way. What matters is finding a path that works for you. In real life, this preparation and partnership can spark positive change. Take the example of Mr. Howard, age 72, who always felt anxious in the exam room. By bringing his wife and a written list of symptoms, he was finally able to share things he'd kept to himself for months. The result? A simple change in medication, a referral for physical therapy, and a noticeable boost in both his energy and in his relationship. Or consider Mrs. Evans, who used her clinic's online portal to message her doctor about personal changes. She felt relieved, respected, and soon found new solutions she'd never have learned about if she'd stayed silent. So, as you prepare for your next appointment, remind yourself, you're not just a passenger on this journey, you're co-pilot. Honest communication gets you started, but preparation and partnership will take you farther than you ever thought possible. In our next segment, we'll see how all of these steps come together, leading to meaningful solutions, renewed confidence, and the comfort and connection you truly deserve. For now, hold on to this truth. You have the power, and with just a little preparation, you can make your voice and your health a priority at every stage of life. Let's take everything we've explored and picture what it looks like in real life. The kind of life that feels richer, fuller, and more hopeful because you've made the decision to speak up and partner with your doctor. Honest communication and active partnership with your doctor, built on preparation and courage, will lead to clearer answers, better health, and renewed comfort and confidence both in your body and in your relationships. Imagine this. You enter the doctor's office, this time not with your worries bottled up, but with a notepad in hand and your questions written down. Maybe you have a partner or a close friend beside you, there to listen and support you. As the doctor greets you, you take a slow breath, remember your value, and begin. I'd like to talk about some changes I've noticed in my circulation and my intimate health. Here's what I've experienced, and here's what I'm wondering. In that moment, you might notice a subtle shift, not just in the room, but inside yourself. You're no longer a passive patient waiting for answers. You're a partner in your care, offering your story, your observations, and your hopes. Your doctor listens, asks questions, and together you map out next steps. Maybe some blood tests, a medication review, a simple change in your routine, or a referral to a specialist who can help further. Now, what happens as a result? Over the coming days and weeks, you find that you're not just waiting for things to improve, you're part of the process. Maybe your doctor suggests a new walking program to boost blood flow, or introduces you to pelvic floor exercises that help you regain control and comfort. Perhaps you learn about small dietary tweaks, or try a new medication that fits better with your unique needs. If you're in a relationship, you might even talk together about what's changing, using what you've learned to bring more understanding and intimacy to your partnership. With every step, you start to feel the difference. Instead of wondering, you know what's happening in your body and why. Instead of fearing the unknown, you feel equipped with knowledge and a clear plan. Maybe you notice fewer episodes of numbness or coldness, more energy in your afternoons, a little more spring in your step when you walk to the mailbox. Perhaps you find renewed joy in small acts of closeness with your partner, a hand held, a hug that feels more meaningful, or the quiet comfort of simply being present together without shame or secrecy. You may discover that your mental well-being improves too. Anxiety and uncertainty have a way of shrinking when you replace them with action. The act of speaking up, of taking ownership, brings a new sense of hope and pride. You look in the mirror and see not just the years gone by, but the strength and wisdom you've gained, the courage to care for yourself, and the dignity of knowing you matter. Over time, the changes ripple outward. Your partner may feel more connected and included. Your children may see you as a model of proactive, positive aging. Friends might ask for advice, and you share your experience, encouraging them to speak up, to be brave, to ask for what they need from their own doctors. You realize that breaking the silence on these topics isn't just about you. It's about changing the culture, ending the old cycles of embarrassment and isolation, and replacing them with honesty, support, and healing. Perhaps most powerful of all, you discover new confidence in your relationship with your doctor. With every conversation, you build trust, a foundation that makes every future appointment easier. You know how to prepare, what to ask, and how to share the details that matter. Your doctor, in turn, knows you better as a whole person, not just a list of symptoms. This partnership becomes a source of security, a reminder that you are not alone on the path. Even if the journey brings challenges, you face them with more resilience because you're equipped with tools and support. If a test reveals something unexpected, you know you caught it early. If a treatment takes time to work, you stay patient, knowing you're moving forward. And even on days when progress feels slow, you celebrate the small wins: a good night's sleep, a pain-free walk, a meaningful conversation, or the knowledge that you gave yourself the gift of attention and care. This is not a dream for the lucky few. It's the natural outcome of taking that first brave step, choosing honesty, preparation, and partnership. Your willingness to talk, to ask questions, to listen and learn creates a ripple of positive change that grows with every appointment, every decision, every day. So, if you've ever felt the urge to stay silent, to brush off symptoms, or to let embarrassment stand between you and the life you want, let this be your sign to do the opposite. The door is open. The help is there. The results, real, practical, and lasting, are within reach. Let this story be yours, the story of someone who spoke up, partnered with their doctor, and found not just answers, but renewed health, restored confidence, and a life of greater comfort and connection. This is what's possible when you choose yourself, one conversation, one appointment, one act of courage at a time. And now, as we reach the final stretch of our journey together, I want to pause and remind you of something deeply important. You have more power over your well-being than you might ever have imagined. The very act of watching, listening, and reflecting today is proof that you care and that you're ready for change. Encourage yourself to take action and notice the change. This is your invitation, right now, to turn knowledge into reality, one small, brave step at a time. Let's be practical about it. Before your next doctor's visit, set aside just 10 quiet minutes for yourself. Take a notepad, jot down what you've noticed about your circulation, your energy, and your intimate health. No detail is too small, no feeling too private. Think back over the past few weeks. Have you experienced tingling, numbness, coldness, or fatigue? Have there been changes in your comfort, your connection, your confidence? Even if the words don't come easily, remember, this is just for you. You're starting a gentle conversation with yourself, one that sets the stage for an even more powerful conversation with your doctor. When the day of your appointment comes, don't leave your notepad at home. Bring it with you and, if you like, invite a partner or trusted friend to join you. When you're face to face with your doctor, take a deep breath. It's okay to feel nervous, but remember, you are not alone. This moment is about reclaiming your health and your joy. You might start simply. There are some things I've been wondering about. Could we talk about my circulation and a few changes I've noticed in intimacy? As you speak, be gentle with yourself. Every question you ask, every feeling you share, is an act of courage. Your honesty might unlock answers you've been seeking for years, or lead to simple changes that bring more ease to your days. And even if every concern doesn't have a quick fix, you'll have planted seeds of understanding, partnership, and trust that can grow with every visit, every conversation, every step forward. And as you walk this path, keep noticing. Maybe your legs feel stronger after a few weeks of a new walking routine. Maybe your relationship with your partner grows more open, or your sleep becomes more restful. Celebrate these changes, however small. Every win matters, each one a sign that you are moving forward and that your efforts make a real difference. Don't forget, too, the ripple effect you create. When you speak up about your health, you become a quiet inspiration to others, your spouse, your children, your friends at the community center. You show them that it's not only okay, but wise to take care of themselves, to ask questions, to demand answers, and to expect more from their own healthcare experiences. You remind them that aging isn't just about years passing, but about making the most of each day with honesty and self-respect. If you ever feel discouraged, if a conversation with your doctor feels awkward, or a solution takes time to work, hold on to your purpose. Change, especially when it comes to health and relationships, can be slow and winding. What matters most is not perfection, but persistence. Each time you prepare for an appointment, each time you ask one more question, each time you return to your notes and reflect, you are building a future of clarity, comfort, and confidence. Let gratitude guide your journey. Thank yourself for showing up, for learning, for caring. Thank your doctor or your loved ones for listening. And remember, every story is unique. Your needs, your body, your pace. It's okay to try new things, to seek out specialists, or to ask for a second opinion. Your health belongs to you. Your comfort matters. Let's bring it back to the beginning. All those worries that seemed too embarrassing, too complicated, or too overwhelming, now they're just starting points, invitations, doors you can open. And with each open door comes new possibility, a better night's rest, more energy for your favorite activities, greater closeness with those you love, and a quiet, steady pride in the life you are choosing to live. So as we close, here's my gentle challenge to you. Don't wait for the right time. Don't let another year slip by with unspoken questions or unresolved concerns. Reach out. Write your list. Book the appointment. Say the first word. Then notice what changes inside and out. Because the real secret is this: you are not powerless, and you are not alone. With every conversation, every note, every question, you reclaim a little more of your life. You set a powerful example for others. You honor all the years behind you and all the adventures still ahead.